What is happening, YieldMax people? My name is Mike. This right here is Health and Wealth. Thank you so much for joining me today on another episode. Today we're going to discover Group A. We're going to talk about what they're going to be paying out. So today is distribution announcement day. Tomorrow, which is Thursday, will be the X distribution day, which means if you don't have your money in these funds before the beginning of tomorrow, I guess it's 8 p.m. tonight, then you don't get this distribution, but you'll get the next one if you keep your money in there. Now, this is not advice. This is me just going over what I see, and yeah, we'll see how it goes here. There's some good ones. There's some not so good ones in this announcement, but for me, I'm not invested in any of these. However, I am thinking about one of them. You let me know which one you think it is by the tone of my voice when we go through them. Okay. All right. By the way, don't judge the hair today. This is too. This is too hair. It has snowed over 6 feet outside in the last 8 days. Um, my kid has had 17 snow days so far this year. She just came home with a bag full of candy for Valentine's Day. We're 5 days after Valentine's Day, but it's happening. So don't judge the hair. Let's go through all of them here. So QDTY is a brand new fund. This is the NASDAQ 100. This is a 0 day to expiry, which means that they will be doing weekly calls on the NASDAQ, if you will. So that hasn't come out with any distribution yet. That's the latest one. Next one, SDTY. This is kind of like a counterpunch to um, SDTE, which is, or sorry, XDTE, which is a very successful fund that looks at the S&P 500. XDTE has been out for almost a year, coming up on a year here in a month from now, and it has lost virtually zero share price. The share price is almost the exact same and it's paid out every single week. It's an incredible fund that's done an incredible job for the last year. So this is going to be kind of its counter punch right here. Let's see if YieldMax can kind of navigate this to be at least the same, if not better than its enemy in XDTE. But 22-cent distribution there. So I've got both of them up here on the screen. They both started at $50, so we're up on this one here, QDTY. They're up $50.86, and I might have said QDTE. This is going to be kind of uh, the um, the competition to QDTE. So there you go. That might have been a Freudian slip, but only $2.54 million in the AUM for this one, so it's not a huge fund at all over at YieldMax. The other one here is SDTY, and same deal, right? So let's go take a look at this over the last month, up 36 cents, which is good. But let's go take a look at SDTY here. It has a little bit more money in it, but it has been out just slightly longer there too. But triple the value, 6.33 million. But if this has anything, any kind of like if it's as successful as XDTE, then this would be a winner. But time will tell if we're able to pull this one off. Next, we have GPTY. This is an AI play. This is brand new over at YieldMax. Came out on January 23rd, so it's not even a month old yet. It's already down 3%, so that's not good. But paying out 32 cents. This is a weekly pair. This is going to be its third payment so far. So it looks like in that 30-cent range is where they're trying to be with this. But I mean, you're already down $1.72 in share price. Not the greatest, but I mean AI and really the entire market has been not great over the last month here. So can't fault it yet on that one. Next up is LFGY, 57 cents. That's pretty big, I think, for a crypto pair here. Again, Bitcoin's been down the last month here, give or take a couple of thousand. So this one's down as well, right? We're down almost 7%, and this came out on January the 14th. So you can see these are all brand new funds that YieldMax has come out with. YieldMax trying to pump out as much variety as possible to get your money in there so that they make money. And then hopefully you can make money too, right? That's the goal. But LFGY, this is going to be its third payment or Wow, fifth payment. Holy smokes. Okay, so it's fifth payment so far. Hovering around that. Let's call it 60 cent average right here. Maybe a little bit more than that, but 57 cents this week. Yeah, so far so good. Not a big fan of the price going down $3.57, but decent payments, that's for sure so far. I always get curious to see how much dollar is in these funds. So 72 million um, in this fund already. It's growing pretty quickly. People really like crypto. I know I do as well. So there you go. Let's move on to the next weekly pair. This one has been around a little longer. We're talking about YMAX. So YMAX this week paying out 18 cents, which is pretty standard for YMAX. Nothing too different there. YMAX itself in the last month just down 0.24%. That's not bad at all. If you look at the last 6 months, down 6%, but you most likely have recouped that with your distribution so far. Next, we have YMAG, and this is going to be the last of our weekly pairs, 13 cents. Not bad. Last week with YMAG, it was 5 cents. I had a lot of people in the video say, like, why would I even invest in something that's 5 cents? With YMAG, it goes on these 4 week cycles. So on that fourth week, that's when you see 5 cents. Every other week is around that 13 to 25 cent range. But YMAG itself is pretty stable. Share price wise, it started at $20. Let's go back to when it came out a year ago. Is that true? No. A year ago, yeah, February 2nd. There we go. $20. So since then, it's down 10% in share price, but you're up in distribution, right? So your return it has been greater than your loss so far with Y Mag. It's more stable than Y Max. Next, we have everyone's favorite. The reason you're here, drum roll, please. Tesla, TSLY. You ain't got an alibi. 57 cents. Tesla has had a pretty rough life over at YieldMax. If you watch the channel, that was the first thing I bought. Actually, we're coming up on almost the 1 year anniversary when I sold this. It was around March 11th, I think it was, that I sold Tesla and I bought into NVDY. And I'm really happy I made that decision. As soon as they made that reverse split, the share price has never really recouped. It just keeps going down and down and down and never goes up. And I mean, is that the same thing for Tesla? I've opened up Tesla's chart here. If we look at the last year, Tesla is up 86% in that same time period. Let's go take a look at Tesla itself in the last year, down 32%. That's embarrassing. There's no way that this price should be down 32% when the underlying is up 88%. So for me, that's not an investable fund. I'm not into TSLY at all. It's just doomed. It just keeps doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, right? So it's paying out these massive distributions every single month, except for that one. And the share price is eating it because of it, right? So for me, I'm not invested in this. I'm happy I sold it when I did and made that decision. But Elon just keeps doing Elon things, and I saw on a Facebook group today, Elon has nothing to do with Tesla. Well, he does, because when he talks, Tesla either goes up or down. Generally, it goes down, and that affects your price over at Tesla as well, right? Because your synthetic options aren't going to win, right? And you're not going to make any money on your synthetic options. So that's going to be your Tesla talk by Mike. You're welcome. This video is sponsored by. Actually, it's not sponsored by anybody. If you're looking to sponsor these videos, I'd love to put your info out there to the world. By the way, thanks so much for subscribing. We're just over 3,100. I can't remember the number. It's been a while since I've looked at it. I really appreciate you being here. Without you, I wouldn't even do these videos, right? Because the reason I'm doing them is for you. So I hope you find some entertainment in these videos for sure. Let's talk about the opposite of what Tesla wants. We've got Crash here. Crash is another embarrassing fund over at YieldMax. 38 cents is nice. What's not nice is the share price. If you look at the share price over the last month, though, Tesla has come down in the last month, and Crash has gone up. And now Crash is the inverse fund for Tesla. So when Tesla goes down, crash goes up. But we're getting dangerously close to $5 here. For me, that's again not an investable thing. And actually, I'm really happy. My dad was invested in Tesla, but he couldn't take it anymore. He could not take any more Elon, so he sold Tesla, and is very happy with his decision. That's for sure. So there's your Tesla and crash. Next up, GUI. GUI, let's see. Hold on one second. GUI's paying out 38 cents this 4 week cycle, this month we'll call it. But GUI, is this true? GUI share price $14. How is that possible when Google is going up? That's another one that is not looking good on the YieldMax front. There are other options for Google if you're interested in buying ETFs that trade Google. Over at Curve, they have one called Goop, GOOP. I'm not endorsing it at all. I haven't really spent more than like 10 seconds looking at it, but I think the share price goes up over there. Plus, you get a distribution. Maybe not as much as this, but you're not losing money over there, which is what's happening to you here. If you're with Googie, 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 let's call it Googie from now on. If you're with Gooey, that's awesome. All right, next up, Ybit. Ybit paying up 55 cents. Ybit share price not good, right? Down in the last year here, 40%, but 12 bucks paying out again. What was that one last time? 55 cents. And so that's going to be its lowest payment in a long time. But I think that's good because maybe they're paying out too much money. That's why the share price potentially is coming down. Maybe they're paying you out of your own money. $125 million fund right now. I'd be worried about my share price if we look at that. I mean, if we look at the last year here, it's not even a year old, right? And it's down 39% share price. However, everybody, let's all get on the same page here. It's paid out that many distributions, right? So it's not truly down that much if you are receiving that much income, right? So just to throw that out there. Next up, OARC, which is the second oldest fund at YieldMax. OARC here, just kind of hanging out in the last 6 months, up 7%, which is nice. OARC doesn't pay a ton of money, but 42 cents this time around. ARC K is what it trades off. Kathy Wood Special. If you look at Kathy Wood Special in the last 6 months, if you had them invested in this instead, you'd be up 45% on your share price as opposed to 6.99%. But in that time, you would not have received all of these distributions. However, ARC K does have a dividend, and it's not super lucrative or anything like that. I think it pays annually as well. So this is paying out every 4 weeks, which is nice. Actually, I haven't met anybody that's invested in OARC. If you're invested in OARC, let us know in the chat. What do you like about it? Next up, Zomo, XOMO, paying out 25 cents here. This is going to be not like a huge fund over at YieldMax, but it's also going to be one of its lower payments so far. But yeah, they hover around that 30-cent range every single month. 30-cent range every month. I'm trying to find total value, 52 million. So yeah, not a huge fund over at YieldMax at all, but 25 cents, that's a little bit low. Exxon Mobil, and yeah, there you go. Doesn't move the needle for me. Next up, let's talk SNOY. Say it with me, everybody. SNOY, 92 cents. This one is doing pretty well over at YieldMax. Now, Snowflake is looking at earnings coming up here, and Snowflake has had a really good month, up 7.5%. 41% over the last 6 months, which is really, really good. Snow maintaining that $20. If I could buy a fund over at YieldMax and it just sat at $20 for the rest of my life, and then it paid out a distribution every 4 weeks of $73.56, $70, all of these, I would buy that fund and I would keep that fund forever. Wouldn't you guys? Like, it doesn't need to pay me $2 like Misty does. If the fund stays like this and I get a little chunk every single month, don't you think that would be awesome? And that's what SNOY is doing. For me, that is a winning formula for me. Maybe not for you, right? And so I don't love to risk it for the biscuit too much here, but I mean I do love that that share price is staying the same. It has not changed since it came out. Let's go take a look here. It came out June 14th, and we're down 22 cents from day one on share price. I think that is awesome. I think that's awesome. So that's the one. I might give it away. That's the one I'm contemplating down the road. We'll see how it goes, but I am not invested in that right now. Okay. Next up, we only have three left. TSMY, 60 cents, decent payout here. Again, this one's fairly stable too. I like stability. Stability is good. So TSMY paying out, I got to read that again, 60 cents. And I mean, that's pretty close to what they've paid out in their last five payments. So, again, stable. I like stable. I like things that aren't going down like Tesla and GUI. And that GUI has slipped in the last little while because I don't recall that happening in previous videos. But yeah, there you go. We got two left. You guys want to buy a picture of my? No, I'm just kidding. I won't go there. Let's talk about feet. This one came out at $50, paying out $1.90. This is going off the Dorsey Wright featured 5 income ETF. I'd love to take a look at this one a little deeper. But $1.90 paying out, that's huge. Since it's come out, it's down 8%. But it came out at $5.50. I went kind of discovering what was in the fund here. And honestly, I don't dislike what's in this fund, but I can see why the share price has gone down a little bit. Let's go through it, right? Meta, that would bring the share price up. Meta's done incredible. Netflix also done very well. But MicroStrategy in the last month or so here, it's dipping its way down. Same with Coin going down in the last month here. Same with Tesla down quite a bit in the last month. And 3 out of 5 are dipping. And so that's probably why the share price of this is going down. I've done zero research on this one, so don't trust me on that one. But just from a bird's eye view, that's kind of what it looks like to me. But for you, if you want to dive deeper into that, go take a look at their holdings. You can go to their intraday trade download right there and see that. You can also look at all of their holdings here on YieldMax's website to dive a little deeper for yourself. But paying out $1.90, really good. The last one is 5e. Yeah, this one's, I mean, 5e doesn't sound too bad either, but this one's paying out $1.12 this month. Um, if we take a look at the last, since it came out December 17th here, it is down almost 7%. 5e. Let's go take a look and see what's inside of 5e right now. It's kind of the same thing, right? Same thing, except for they own shares of these companies. I think that's the difference. Again, I haven't done any research on this. It's not something I want to talk about very often. I'm just here to show you what the payments are. If you're invested in 5e and feet, what is it that you like about those? For sure, so far, I'm not a big fan of the share price decreasing, but I think it has something to do with the underlying. So that's probably why that's happened. But you got to be happy with that distribution and that distribution so far on both of those. That's pretty decent. So that's the rundown on these. I think the biggest winner so far is probably SNOY. TSMY has definitely got to be up there as well. The rest of them, YMAX kind of stays what they are. LFGY, that's a huge distribution for 1 week, 57 cents. If they did that every week, you're looking at like 228 a month. So yeah, is that sustainable? And then things that intrigue me, probably SDTY is one that intrigues me here. Can it keep up to XDTE? Nobody knows the future, but who knows? Maybe one day we'll find out what that future is. If you enjoyed this video, join the others who are subscribed. Consider joining my memberships here. I appreciate every single member that's been with us. And we'll do some live feeds for us members, and we'll go from there. So that's it for tonight's video. My name is Mike. This channel is Health and Wealth. Have a great day.